as an adult. You know that I teach adults. You know that I teach teens for driver's ed. So we're going to keep giving you this content to really teach you and build confidence. Now, a lot of us don't really want to drive in bad weather, but we're going to have to go get food for the family. We're going to have to go pick up your sister, your brother, your small child. So I'm going to take you through the process right now. It's very icy. It's cold. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. People are home watching football right now, but I'm out doing this tutorial for you, and I'm going to keep it real with you. So I'm in the car. The first thing you always do when you get into the car is put on your seatbelt. Why? It could be your last time. The seatbelt will keep you safe in the car, keep you secure. Next, lock the doors. So we want to go ahead and lock the doors. That gives you peace of mind. Now, we walked around the car. There could be animals hiding. It's cold. And when you park, animals will come to the car and hide, okay? Now, we have to adjust our mirrors again because when we're driving, we go over bumps and everything, and this makes the mirrors out of adjustment. So I'm going to frame the rear window, and when I'm looking straight ahead, I can see everything out of the rear window. And some of those little fancy cars, you got a little windshield wiper. Next, let's adjust the passenger side mirror. So we want to adjust it. Some are electric, some are manual. This car's a 2016. It's got automatic, no big deal. And then I'm going to adjust the driver's side. So now we got our mirrors adjusted. Now I'm going to switch angles. Now, the one thing I want to tell you, always keep good windshield wiper blades. Right? And this simple gesture can make your life so easy. Don't get cheap and get cheap windshield wiper blades. Now, we're going to put our foot on the brake and put it in drive. We turn on our blinker. We pull off from a parked position. And we go slow because a lot of us are on a budget. We can't afford new crispy tires, but if you get paid to work some overtime, you might be good. So let's pretend these tires are about 50%. Gradually feed the throttle and stay in the grooves. We're not taking a deep trip down to the east side or west side. We're not going down to Houston or anywhere out of the state. We're just staying in our own area, 15-minute drive, 20-minute drive, but those can be the most dangerous. The most dangerous time is in your neighborhood. Why? You let your guard down. So we want to squeeze our brakes, and you see I'm sliding a little bit. We want to stop for 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, and 1003. But we can't see. So you know what I'm going to say to you, and you know what I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to show you. You got to move forward and show the car. This is where a lot of adults get scared. I'm scared I'm going to get hit. You got to pull up and see, and you got to stop at the edge of the street. You got to look left. You got to look right. You got to look left. When it's clear, go in the first lane. You're going to remember this. Go in the first lane. Say it with me. Go in the first lane. Now we're going to change the area, and cars will pull out in front of us. It's going to give you a mini panic attack. I'm here to tell you this. It's going to panic you. So take your time. A lot of adults don't know we're learning how to drive. They assume, hey, I'm just going to pull out. And some cars and trucks will pull out right in front of you and don't care. I teach teens and adults. We have the driver's assist sign on top. And guess what? People still treat us like crap. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to pause and squeeze my brake. We're at the stop line, and sometimes they're worn out. We can't blame the county, city, or state that we live in because sometimes municipalities don't take care of roads. Money goes toward other things, new projects, new housing. So you have to be your own guardian for safety and keep your car in great condition. What does this mean? I want you to get the best headlights possible. I am not sponsored by Sylvania Silverstar, but Advanced Auto, AutoZone, any of your basic Walmart, get some good headlights so you can see. That's really going to help you reduce anxiety. And unfortunately, when I'm doing my lessons, a lot of the cars that we have crappy Headlights. One of the scariest things that I see is driving a car with terrible headlights for beginning drivers. You see that water kicking off of this car to the left? Good tires are critical. And if your tires are ball-headed, kind of like my head, right, you're going to be sliding all over the road, left and right, and you're going to be staring at the speedometer, and you're going to panic. So what I want you to do is drive at a speed that you feel comfortable with. Don't push the steering wheel hard left or hard right. Why? You're going to drift off the road. Now, I'm going to deliberately hug the right. See me going to the white line? I'm going to end up sliding off the road, okay? And it's scary. You want to try to stay in the groove. And I'm going to give you a tip. Look ahead at the traffic light. You might be able to see it. It's a little bumpy. It's a green traffic light. When I ask you these questions, I'm trying to teach you to look ahead. Aim high driving. We're not walking down the street, we are driving down the street. And when you drive, you're in a vehicle that is moving 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. Sometimes the car or truck is not stable. Look ahead. Now, if you have glasses, clean them off. Go to your ophthalmologist. If you don't have insurance, then try to get your best prescription. It's really important that, and a lot of adults don't drive at night. Now, I'm going a little too fast. This car is going slow. I have a choice. I can back off the gas, and that's what I'm going to do. My other choice, I can make a lane change, and I'm going to go ahead and make a lane change. And if you have bad tires, you will slide. The speed limit here is 50. At least go 45, but they are going about 40, and I'm passing them, and that's fine. You can't bully cars. A lot of adults think, I'm an adult. I've been on the planet 25 years, 27 years. So what? There's another adult who's just as old as you, who's a bigger fool than you, right? So be humble. Respect all, fear none. Be polite, be courteous, get knowledge, okay? I'm gonna tell you a quick story, you're gonna laugh. I was driving a client on Friday, 2 clients. One client, dad said, hey, my daughter can drive. We were out in the snow, driving good. Hugging the right, hugging the left, driving good, okay? The other client, very nervous, we switched cars. We were about a half an hour late. We had to cancel the other drives. The other client, who was driving very, 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 very slow, and I say this for a reason, the grandmother said, and I tell your granddaughter, tell your grandmother what happened. Well, Grandma, a guy put his middle finger up because we were going so slow. She laughed her ass off. She was like, ha, ha, ha. That's so funny. You see this car? I'm taking my time. They'll pull out in front of me. What am I trying to tell you is the first mother was upset. You were supposed to stay in parking lots and side streets. The parking lots and side streets were garbage, were terrible. Do you think I really want to drive a first-time adult or teen in a terrible area where we can crash and get stuck? No. I have over 26 years experience. So the first mother was like, I thought you were supposed to be driving in parking lots and driving in neighborhoods. And I said, ma'am, and I'm showing her respect. I said, ma'am, trust me in the process. I would never put you or your daughter in danger, okay? And she was like, okay, but she was really upset. Why? The mother was watching us on the Life 360 app. So we have a young mom in her 40s and a grandmother in her 60s. The grandmother in her 60s was laughing her butt off. Why? Because some guy put his middle finger up because we were going too slow. So I'm gonna wait. And you know what? I'm gonna be patient. So you have to wait, just like these 2 girls to the left, okay? I could have been mean and flashed my lights, but I'm taking my time. They're driving this little Fiat, okay, this little orange Fiat. See, it's coming in, this little orange Fiat, really small car, but I'm not mad. But you had 2 different women, at least 30 years difference between them. The grandma was laughing her ass off because her granddaughter was driving slow, which we should have been 20 miles an hour, First time out, we were in the snow learning how to drive. The other mother, I thought she was staying in parking lots in the neighborhoods. So you had two different theories on driving. Now, I'm going to run in to pick up this meal for a group of senior citizens. See, a lot of things you don't know. I actually pick up meals for senior citizens, and I've never drove in the snow before. Well, you're about to learn right now, and you want to take your time, right? I'm going to help you. Now, I've got to run in and pick up this meal for senior citizens. I want you to put some comments in. I will be right back. Do not leave. Put questions in, and we'll talk more about snow driving and real life stories. So I'll be right back. Do not go anywhere. Okay, I will help you. I will talk about it. Give me a second. I'll be right back, and then I'll talk about that. All right, let's talk about this. So, routinely, I get meals for seniors or people who can't drive. So, you saw me bring the food. I just went to Buffalo Wild Wings. So, let's talk about driving in bad weather with one eye. The things I want you to remember, and I'm drawing from my experience driving. First, make sure you have really good windshield wiper blades. I would do research on finding good windshield wiper blades for whatever region you live in. I'm in the cold weather region, okay? I live in the Midwest. We have snow, we have ice, we have rain, we have very short summers. So if you live in a region that is in the Midwest, get good windshield wipers. Number two, I would do research about the best headlights. Sometimes OEM or original equipment headlights are not going to really help you because they're not going to really shine enough light. You need to be able to see because you are limited with one eye, right? But we're going to say it's an opportunity. We're not going to say that you're limited. So I want you to try to find the best headlights. Now, you got to do some research, right? Most good headlights, 25, 35, 45, $55. Okay, don't get some cheap ones off of Amazon. No cap. I'm just being real. You want to support your local, okay, automotive shop. Go in and talk to the clerk. Hey, I have one eye. Hey, I have limited visibility. I need some recommendation on headlights. What do you have? They'll say, oh, I didn't know. And we have to stop here. 3 seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003. And they're going to give you some recommendations of headlights. I like Sylvania Silver Star because I've used them before. They're about 15 to 20% brighter. Okay, but if they're too bright, you're going to blind other people. I want to stop again. 1001, 1002, 1003. So you're going to have good windshield wiper blades. Now, I also want you to get some very good windshield washer solvent. You see this windshield we're looking at right now? We have stock windshield washer solvent. We have above average windshield wiper blades, and our headlights are OEM. We can see pretty good. But for you, you might need a different type of combination. And also, if your insurance may pay for it, you might be able to get a specially designed windshield that could be a prescription. There's so many different options. You got to think outside of the box. You can't just say, oh man, I have one eye and I can't drive. I'm just being real, because my dad had both of his legs amputated, and he was a double bilateral amputee, and he had hand controls. Now you're probably saying, well, that's legs. Would you rather lose an eye or lose both legs? You probably say lose an eye. Okay, so like this glare right now, you don't want too much glare, but you want to be able to see. Okay, and I think you're going to have to train yourself to look at what is needed, because my right eye is looking at something at a say a 50% perspective. My other eye is looking at a 50% perspective, and together those images go into our brain. So you might have to train yourself in some type of video game. You need to look at Google Scholar. I'm telling you, I'm an educator. Go into Google Scholar and type in driving as a person with one eye. What are the disadvantages? What are the advantages? You need to find someone who's done some research, ophthalmologist, because we still can drive with one eye, but it's going to take a little bit more focus, a little bit more concentration. And of course, because you have one eye, you're going to be very sensitive to glare. Okay? So, and you want to make sure your temperature is good. You're going to, I have dry eyes, and that does occasionally hurt. So you got to see, now I'm going to go on the outside lane close to the curb. But this night driving can help you. I'm going in real easy, taking my time, and then I'm going to accelerate through. Okay? So what I need you to do is make sure those headlights are really good. Make sure your windshield is really clean. Make sure you have, and I can give you some recommendations, right? If you want me to, you have to send me a message. You can say, hey, I'm the person with one eye. When you subscribe, I'll do some research on the type of windshield washer solvent that I think you should get, what type of windshield washer blades I think you should get, and what type of headlights. Like, there's an emergency. There's something coming, so we are going to wait right here. We're not going to move. This is real life. I want you to hear this. I want you to see it. This is why you don't wear headphones or earbuds. Get over to the right. It's state law. And if you don't, when you're taking your test, you're going to fail. And I'm very passionate about this. Don't do stupid stuff. Someone's life is in a balance. So many drivers are so disrespectful. Like this car to my left. It's 500 feet. Okay? And we always want to put ourselves in someone else's position. So we want to be careful. We want to take our time. So you got to do some research. I'll help you because I want to learn. And then what I'll do, I'll talk about vision and limited vision. Okay? So like now, we're moving pretty good here. We're just going to take our time. And you've got to practice. Practice in the morning. Practice in the evening. Don't put yourself at a disadvantage and practice when it's totally dark. Whether you have one eye, 1 foot, no feet, one arm, you still can drive. You just need someone to coach you, set your boundaries, because I've taught people with limited visibility. I've taught people with one arm. I saw my dad, before I started even thinking about driver's ed, drive in a car with an aluminum mounted hand control that was a long lever that you push straight down, that's the brake. You push in an angle, that's the gas. And if you can learn how to drive it like that, you can have your mobility. And remember, we are adults, and our mobility is important. Okay, like now the weather's getting a little bad, and you want the window warm, but not so warm that you're going to fall asleep. And these headlights aren't super bright. I could always upgrade, and then what I'm going to do, I'll do a live at an auto parts store, and we're going to talk to the person. We're going to get 3 or 4 choices on headlights. And typically, let's say you get your license at 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. 40 years of driving, or if you don't have your license yet, you're going to be really cautious. You might not drive right now in the evening, and that's okay. But you have to have a coach with you, a co-pilot, who will be honest and say, you know what, I think you're going to be okay, or you're missing too much. You missed our street. You went the wrong way. How? I didn't see the sign, I'm sorry. Or you need to go through a parking lot with people in a controlled situation, have your coach there to help you, and let your coach be the eyes. Like this car coming out. They're kind of coming out kind of slow. They don't give me a blinker. How am I supposed to know what they're doing? But that's the disadvantage you're going to have. And then if the weather, like they're just stopping randomly. And the weather really will dictate how clearly you see. And you can't cut it close, like cut in between cars, running lights. You really need to reprogram yourself. Like you're a video gamer. You need to reprogram yourself. You need to use whatever abilities you have. People can drive with one eye, okay? Your senses will get better. Your sense of smell, sense of touch. Your brain will adapt. So we need to do a whole longitudinal study. Next weekend, I'll be going for professional development early, and then I'm going to share some of this stuff with you to really help you. So we're back on the side road, and I have to drop off this food. I'm taking my time. I'm at 10 miles an hour. Why am I going 10? Because I don't want to crash. It's a very slick road. I want to take my time. So for a lot of you who are adults who are watching this, there is a path for you. It's just going to be a little bit harder. You're going to have to work a little bit more, and then I'm going to help you with this journey. So you need to be looking at my videos, and you really need to be analyzing and visualize, like I'm pulling in this driveway right now. Okay? And then now I'm going to back out, and I'm going to turn on the lights, and I'm going to reverse back. I have to turn my wheel to the left. The rear goes to the left. The front swings out to the right. I'm looking. Okay? And then I'm going to change the angle, and then I'm slowly going to turn the wheel. And I think you can drive one. Again, I'm not an ophthalmologist. You have to talk to your doctor, and if your doctor says yes, then you need to let me know, and then I'll put together a program of the proper headlights, windshield, washer solvent, all the things you need. And then we'll get them to you, right? We'll tell you. I want to know, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm really enjoying giving you these short tutorials, taking you through the whole process, because you can do this as an adult. Allow me to help you. Look at all my videos, leave comments. I will talk to you guys later, tomorrow. Bye.